the white on white Hardanger towel. Our presentation is for January 2026. This white on white Hardanger towel was a design by Naomi Hamilton, who was one of my teachers with Hardanger embroidery. She was a very dear friend of mine and a former member of Chesapeake Treasures. I want to also give a big thank you to Barbara Meger, who has given me her expertise for this design as well. Okay, here's the design we're doing today. You start here, and you're going to be counting up 3 holes and going down in that hole, then coming up in the hole right adjacent to the one you had to start with, and then you're doing another up 3 holes and down again. So I can show that to you. In starting our design, we're going to count up from the center, up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then over 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're there. Now we're going to place a waist knot just a little bit above that. And I'm going to pull it through, and then on the back where that hole is that I made a little larger, I drop that needle in that hole, and that's where our design will begin. All right, now we're going to start our design by counting up 3 and going down in that next hole. You're working with a long pearl cotton thread, so now you want to make sure that it's fairly smooth. They'll lie side by side. Now you're going to come right back down to the row you started on, and the hole right next, the hole right next to it. And you're going to go up 3 again and down in that one. Now you've done 2 at 3. You're going to come back to your base row, and the one right beside it, you're going to go up to 4 holes, back down. You're going up to 5. Try to keep them. Your threads will twist on you, and you have to straighten them out occasionally. Then we're going to go in the next. That was 5. We're going up 1 more to 6, the 6th hole, back down, go up to 7 and down. Now 7 should be right at the middle, and it is. So now you're going back to 6. We're going to work our way down. We go from 7 down to 6. Oops, I made a mistake. I didn't go down to my base row. And that's a mistake you need to catch real fast. You always have to go down to your base row. All right, now we're going up 4 holes back to the base. Then you're going to count up 3 holes and another 3. Okay, we have one side that we have completed. Now we're going to bring our thread right back to that bottom hole that we just had started in. There, where that was our last beginning stitch. you're going to come back to that hole, and we're going to turn our work, and we're going to count up from that place. 1, 2, 3, and go down 3. So we have a square corner there, and you're going to begin your second side. You do another 3, 1, 2, 3. Then you're going to start increasing to 4 holes, back to the base again. Then we're going to go to 6 holes, go up 5 holes to 7, and then you're going to begin decreasing holes. That was 6. Now we're down to 5. Now we're down to 4. Go to 3. Another 3. Base row. And we're going to turn again and start 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and down in that. Okay. All right. We're going to cut our beginning waist knot. And now we're going to run it through on the back. So I've turned this over. And because it's so short, I'm going to run it, the bodkin, through like this. And with hope, I'm going to be able to feed it into here. And then we're going to pull it through this side, just like that. So it will be through 2 sides, through this side and this side. And then all you have to do is trim it, and it is complete. So then we're ready for the next section, the outer band around it and around it. And it will, this is what we're looking at, the red part. We're going to be starting up here, working over 2 holes all the way around. Then we're going out. And we're down to the 2 3s and 1 more. Got a thread on the back side. So I'm okay. Now, instead of stopping there, we're going to go 3 more stitches from that out on each side. So 1, 2, 3. And now this is where you turn the corner. Just like we did previously, you're going back down in that same hole of that last satin stitch. And then you're going to turn your work, and you're going up 1, 2, and try again. 1, 2. Going to do 3, stitches from the work. And then your fourth one is right in the hole. Okay, so you have 3 and 3 that are free, and now you're back in the hole next to this side, and you're going to go over 2 holes again. 1, 2, and you're going to begin doing this all the way around the entire outside. And my thread is trying to twist and knot all the time now. Gonna have to straighten it. And then we start increasing. You're still going over 2, and you're gonna do this all the way around. Let me see if I have one. You can see here, up, and just going over 2 holes, out 3, sharing the hole again on the corner, and going all the way around. When you're finished, you just go under a few sides and cut it off. 12 holes, and then up 8 holes. You will be at this center point of your eyelet clusters. And that's where we will begin doing our work. We're going to start with the black one. Then we're going to go to either one of the red ones, black, and then the other red one. Okay? All right, now I have counted over 12 holes, and I've counted up 8 holes, and I've kind of widened the hole, and I stuck a pin in it. I'm going to do a waist knot. Now, I'm going to come up where that pin was, okay? Mm-hmm. And that's where we're going to start our design. And once I get the thread through, little cotton, we're going to be ready to start. Now, on this, we're going to go up 3 more holes. 1. Now, we're going from the center that we picked before, we're going up 3 holes and down in that hole. Now, for the eyelet clusters to get started and to feel comfortable, I like to go at a 90-degree angle first. Go 3 out, and then we're coming back to the center. My light is playing games with me. There we go. And I do this simply because it's real hard to see the 2 in between. But we want to go in between, back to the center, and back to the center. And then we're going to work our way all the way around. Now you want to do the 2 in between. Oops, needle fell out. Then you're going to do 3. And okay, and the last one of these, this section back down in the center. We have two more to do, the centers of these. One more here. And that becomes the center of your next eyelet. Back in the center, there's one more here, and into your center again. Then you're going to work your way all the way around, and that's how you do your eyelet cluster. I can show you here an eyelet cluster. You can see that we did these two here. Then you're going to do these 3 more stitches, 3 more stitches, and 2 more here. When you finish this one, you're back to the center again. You go out 3, and that becomes the center of this one. And your last one then would be the next one here, back to the center, then 3 out, and do this eyelet as well. So you have your 4 eyelets together, an eyelet cluster. Now, this is the cutting stage. You will need a pair of small scissors that are sharp, tweezers, and either a needle or a pin to do this. Let's look at our diagram first. We're going to have the red lines, threads, left. We want the red ones left. We're going to cut away the faded black lines in these squares, and we'll be cutting along here and along here, 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 and again there. There are 10 threads, so 3 on each side will be cut. Now, let's look at our towel. I like to do the cutting out of the hoop. And the first thing is that I want to try to move this first thread away from my finished flower design. So we're going to be starting in the corner, and we're going to lift up just 1 thread at a time, only 1. And you pull up on it a little and snip it. Then you go to your second thread, pull up on it and snip it. By pulling up slightly, it puts the tension and pulls that thread back in. And then you do your third thread. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now, turn it, count your threads, 1, 2, 3. Pull this down. And you're going to go in and cut. snip it. 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to do that all the way around our square in the middle, cutting just the 3 threads. One, 2, 3. Pull up and snip. Your second one, pull up and snip. Your third one, okay, turn it. 1, 2, 3. 2 more corners. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Turn. Open. Didn't cut all of the threads. Yes, it did. Okay. Try again. 1, 2, 3. Last corner. 1, 2, 3. Pull this down far enough. Just 3 more to snip. 1, 2, 3. All right, now we're ready to use our tweezers, and we're going to be pulling out those threads. Slowly getting them out. A couple more here. Okay, I'm gonna snip that thread in the middle. That was our center. And what you see are your 4 threads in each direction. And that's the cutting stage. You have 4 threads here, but let's say you accidentally cut this 4th thread and it's not there any longer. You only have 3. We can replace that with some just ordinary cotton thread. And what I'm going to do is on the back, go underneath. Oops, went too far, too fast. And you want to come out where that 4th thread should be. So I've come out and I'm now going to replace that with weaving it. This one goes over, under, and then over. So I'm going over and under, just the opposite, over and under there, weaving it through, and then burying it on the other side. And you will have created your 4th thread. And you'll be able then to do the stitching. I'm going to pull it out since I already have the 4, so we can begin to do the needle weaving. This part is the needle weaving. You have 4 threads in each direction. You're going to be using 2 of them at a time. Another 2, 2, 2, and so on all the way around. And this needle weaving is basically just a figure 8. You're going to be using your number 8 pearl cotton for this. And we're going to go through a few sides. On the back. And you're going to come out right next to that first thread. You have a 36-inch length. Now you're going to bring that thread right down next to the first thread that's there. And you're coming up in that hole. And that thread, whoops, it went underneath of that thread, and we don't want that. And it's right next to the number 1 thread. Now we're going to do our needle weaving. You're going to go over and then on this one, I'm going to wrap it around the first one just to anchor that thread down at the bottom. Then we're going to go over and under. And what we'll be doing is making a figure 8 over and under on each one. Now, you're going to want to pack these down fairly tightly. Want them to lie smoothly. Over, under, over, under. And you're going to do all this all the way up to the top. It's at least 7 or 8 of these, depending on how tightly you have moved them down. Looks like I picked up a thread by mistake, so I'm going to undo these. Okay. Two more. Now I want to end in the middle of those 4 threads. And I'm going to go under that thread in the middle. And then I'm ready to go in this direction, back down towards the middle. So you go over and under, and you're going to do that all the way down. This part goes fairly quickly. Oops. Dragged it over and under again. Now on this one, we're going to end between the 2 bars. So this last stitch here will be between these 2 bars. Now we're going to be making the eyelet in the middle. We're in between the 2 bars, and we're going to go down into the middle. And we're coming out on the side, down into the middle again, and you're pulling it a little so that you have that eyelet opening up in the middle. As you work around, it'll make an eyelet. Now you come back out into that opening again. And now you're going to start your third bar here, then the fourth into the middle again here to make your eyelet, back out here for your eyelet, back out here to start 5 and 6, into the middle to make your eyelet, back out and around. So I'll do a little bit more. Over and under. You're making a figure 8 basically every time.
Can you go for a sec? Pause it. Go.
All right, now I've done 2 more bars and I'm putting the final stitch here. And I'm going to end between the 2 bars. Okay, now we're going to continue to make the eyelet in the center. So from between the bars, you're going to go down into the center. Kind of pull it a little tightly. Come up to the right of those in the hole. Down into the center again. Pull it. And then you're going to come up here again into that center hole, from the center hole up into this open square. And you're positioned again to begin your needle weaving. So over and under. We're now on 5 for the needle weaving. And you're going to continue this around. And my last stitch up here into the middle. under that stitch. And then you're out, ready to begin going down, over and under on these. Okay, now I'm finishing off this last bar, number 8, and I end in the middle again. I'm going to finish my eyelet by going down from the middle of those bars, pulling it, coming up between these, going back down into the center hole again, and pulling. And now you can see that I have 8 woven bars. I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to go under my threads around the middle here to tie it off. Okay, and then I just cut the threads. And your needle weaving bars are complete. We're ready for the last step, which is the loop-de-loops, I call them. This last part is our loop-de-loops, and it's going to look like this. We're going to be coming out here, going into this bar in the middle, looping around, coming up in this bar in the middle, and then going back down into the hole between our design. So let's begin on the back by burring our thread. It's a 25-inch single thread of pearl, number 8 pearl cotton. And we're going to come up in the open hole closest to our stitches. That's where we come up. Now I'm going to turn this. We're going to go into the middle of this first bar, underneath, go into the middle, come out in the middle. Then we're going to go under it and into the middle of our next bar on this side. And go under it again. and come out. And then we're going to go right down in that same hole that we came out. And it looks like that. Now, on the back, you're going to run it under your threads. You're going to come out in the corner again, and you're going to come up into
Here I come back this way.
going to come up in that hole again, right between our threads. Turn our work again. Come up from the bottom. Loop it. Come up from the bottom. And under it. Back down.
Wait a minute.
Come out in the center. Again, you have to be careful not to pick up too many of the threads. You try to get right in the middle. Another loop, and you're back in that hole. Again, run the threads underneath, and you're gonna come up center, go under several sides with my thread. And I hope you enjoy doing